Okay, let's do this. Yeah, we're good. Okay, now what's up with no sound? Oh, right, yeah, I think I had no. I turned off the sound for some. I don't even remember exactly why. But anyway, how's Thanksgiving? It was nice. Got to see the family. You know how that is. Well, anyway, hey, it's like I always gotta like give it a couple minutes here before people actually get in here. So whatever, we can get like that me not talking for like a good 5 minutes here. Whatever. Look, nobody's watching the VOD anyway. Just go put up that one picture of a turtle. The turtle emote. You know the turtle emote. Where is it now? Because we're doing the Bile Flask day. Because what else do you need aside from the Bile Flask? And then how to do this? I guess just like turn off everything that isn't kind of relevant to a brutality build. Yeah. To make sure this thing actually appears. As always, the secondary items are a little bit more complicated than the first ones to set up. Alright, so what are we doing here? You. Vampirism shouldn't be necessary. Kind of like overwrites the whole Bile Flask stylings, which is not even called the Bile Flask, but I'm going to refer to it as the Bile Flask for the entire run. And you're all going to have to deal with that. I'm sorry. Okay, that'll work. Hello, McVaddy. I love you too. I also need the one item. Where is it? Here. Spite sword. It's big, it's orange. It's the second one on here. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, it's not going to be randomized outfits. There's going to be one outfit. Or, no, I can keep this like this. Why am I even doing it? Turn off that and, that one. But, also turn off you for the future to make sure that doesn't show up. Okay. I think we're ready to get this one set up here. 17 months. Nice. Okay, go switch out the Ninja Turtles outfit for some reason and instead get the proper one. Start this one up here. Although I suppose in some ways the item has no actual guaranteed chance of appear. Whatever. Look, we'll just restart if necessary. Right? I'd also maybe take a look over here first here too. Maybe I could even walk through the door. Let's prep this thing up. This is a good outfit. Oh yeah, it's the damn it. Oh yeah, it didn't actually appear. This is the penitent one's outfit from Blasphemous. Which, yeah, I mean, I look for each one of these. One of the night outfit looks not the best, probably because I had a hard time, replicating the hand-drawn stylings of the original game like that. Okay, I do see a Bile Flask right there. That'll work. There we go. Let's do this. Okay, it's not a pinhead. This is the spiked crown of a holy order, and you should respect it. Come on now. Okay. Everybody wears that in the world of Blasphemous, unless like the generic people in the city who are like trying to put that pig on a wheelbarrow, which I still my favorite background object in that entire game. I love the villagers trying to put the very fat pig onto a wheelbarrow in Blasphemous. That is maybe more than anything else the the one thing that stuck out about that game to me. And that's not true at all, but it's a very good part. Anyway. I should put that in the thumbnail for this episode. Just for some reason. Anyway. Alright. Like, we respect you. No, you don't. You don't respect me at all. If you respected me, you would give me more money. Why was that the first thing that came to my head? Well, anyway, alright. Oh, let's do this. Okay. How are we doing this? Face Flask, otherwise known as Bile Flask. Okay, starting this in 5, 4, 3, 2. The Face Flask, otherwise known as the Bile Flask in Blasphemous, is a simple item. That's not true at all. It's actually a very weird and difficult to use one. Sort of like a lesser version of the... try that one again. You say it like a simple item. It's like, no, this is... I say a lot of items are simple items. This is not a simple item. Well, anyway. Okay, all right. Wait, let me make sure that I have space on my computer for this, as always, because I'm constantly running out of it. It should be enough, unless this lasts, like, literally 5 hours. Which it might, I don't know. Man, I gotta go delete a lot of videos right now, I think. Well, not right now, but after this. If only we could finish up with the Death's Gambit, then I would be able to just get rid of those raws, but you know. Ugh, I tell you. All right. Okay, let's start this one in 5, 4, 3, 2. The Face Flask, otherwise known as the Bile... Okay, starting 5, 4, 3, 2. The Face Flask, otherwise known as the Bile Flask in Blasphemous, is an item that deals a small amount of damage to you and turns 25% of your missing HP into recovery. Not into health, into recovery, which makes it a very similar item to how vampirism works, but with the notable difference of not actually requiring you to turn all of your health into recovery, making it safer, but a little bit less effective. It is a very good item in one specific build, though. You might notice that every one of the melee items here is the Spite Sword, because this is the only item in the entire game that gives you a consistent way of dealing damage to yourself that isn't the Lightning Bolt. Look, the Lightning Bolt is the only other way that you can damage yourself in the game, and that is a real tough thing to try and set up for items. So, like that. Criticals all over the place. It should make it very easy to actually get, especially in late game, the recovery like turned into real health then. I also think that this does not kill you if you're cursed, and you know, it just is a very easy way to get a lot of extra damage even without the Spite Sword using the Vengeance mutation, which is obviously what I'm going to be taking as well. This is a deceptively good item, I want to say. Seems sort of weak at first glance because recovery, of course, goes down very quickly, and you lose all of your recovery if you lose all your recovery if you get hit after taking the initial damage. However, it's just the amount of potential damage you can get out of it with just a very simple build. It's not like Spite Sword is a very difficult weapon to get or anything. Is quite good. I mean, Spite Sword has always been an extremely good item if you can get the critical on it. It's just, sometimes that's not the easiest thing to ask. Especially on 5-cell mode, every single enemy is going to be taking you down, like, what, 40, 50% of your health in a single hit? Which is just so absolutely ridiculous. You can mitigate that by, like, using... Also see somebody saying Challenge Rune somewhere around here. Let's go do that right now. You can mitigate that somewhat using like a shield, like using the old hold out the shield type of mechanic that I rarely ever use for just about anything else. However, oh boy, you just passed it again? Where? This? Right above you. Still not seeing it. But anyway, yeah, this will be a good opportunity to lose a lot of health and then use the And then use the flask here. If it does actually... Chat? Chat? Everybody always telling me I'm missing these challenge runes, and then it's just like, oh, hey, somebody's selling it. Let me go get it. Oh? Near the bottom. Oh, okay. Well, time for me to eat my words. And also eat this. It's called the face flask. The main character in this game does not have a face. What is up with that? I want to hear everybody's, okay, there we go. I want to hear everybody's theories on why exactly this is supposed to work. Although with the Blasphemous outfit, it does, I guess, make a little bit more sense compared to most of the other outfits that exist in the game. Yeah, this one you get by using the flask when at... Cool. Okay, now, I told you I was going to lose a lot of health here, and this is going to be good opportunity for the flask to really shine. But anyway, yeah, flask you get by using the face flask at 1 HP. It's as simple as that. It says the hint is that it's bad for your health, and that is because I guess you could technically kill yourself by smashing it right into your face when you have no health. But I was able to survive it when I did that, so I don't know. I mean, the recovery, and I just, you know, immediately swiped at an enemy that happened to be around there. So, bruh. Look, let's hope I don't die. I wanna try and get to like a little bit low health and not like use my actual potion right now if I can, because I want to use the flask. It's gonna become a lot more useful late game. Any sort of recovery stuff always is, because, well, that's when you have the amount of health to... There you go. That's when you have the amount of health to really be able to... Or the amount of damage to really be able to rally up all of your health in like 1 or 2 hits. As opposed to, you know, other parts of the game where it's much harder to get that bit of extra damage to... You have to like hit enemies a bunch to really make rally work. Maybe the Blasphemous guy tore off his face for repentance after his ascension. It's considered some sacred relic. You know, given... I don't want to get too much into spoilers for Blasphemous, but given how the game ended, that might actually be the case, knowing what we know about the original inheritor of the miracle. I'm trying to be very, very vague with that in case anybody hasn't played the game. It's totally worth playing, by the way. Blasphemous is, I mean, first off, it thrives on its amazing art style and is also just in general very good Metroid-style platformer. Highly recommend it. Even though I didn't really do too much with the game ultimately. I've said before that I'm not like super into the Metroid-style game, you know, with all the backtracking and everything, but still. Like Blasphemous especially, I think, is a very, very well-made example of that. Gonna be having DLC too soon, too. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess, hey, what should be no surprise. I mean, pretty much every one of these games that I've played on the list I've liked. So, yeah. On the list. On the games that appear in this latest update. You can really get, in just like one single hit, rallying up almost every little bit of health that not only I've lost, but also I am getting as recovery just with one swipe of the sword. Yeah, it seems kind of bad, but especially with a setup like this. And even without this, Vengeance should make it absolutely amazing to use. Only getting better when you get later in the game. Because I do believe it starts out base level 30 or 25% of your missing health in the recovery, and then it just keeps going up over time. Right now at 31%. So it's like it is an item much like Vampirism. I think Vampirism becomes like triple S super tier by the triple S super tier by like the end game. This should be pretty good at any point in the game, and especially at higher level difficulties when healing becomes a lot more difficult. This is one of those, you know, might not get a whole lot of use out of it, like on 0 to 2 boss cell difficulty. Start to get a lot of use out of it by like 4 or 5 especially. There you go. Minus 30% damage taken, extra damage dealt. It's like, what can you even say? Nothing else in the game gives you this like level of consistency for activating that mutation. This isn't Dirt Rally. Yeah. Blasphemous levels look empty and lifeless. Take out the enemies and looks barren. I don't know. I mean, it's just like that's true for a lot of games, though. It's like, look at this game, for example. If there weren't a whole ton of enemies all over the place here, or like recently was playing Nuclear Throne, which if you look at that on just like a bi-level basis, there's like it's made out of a bunch of square chunks, for God's sake. But then again, it's like you throw all the enemies inside there and it suddenly becomes that much better. Come on, baby, let's go. You get a look, the Spite Sword critical is amazing. How much exactly is it? Yeah, like almost 2 times damage or so. And then you get that for 8 seconds. And if you're cursed, meaning that you have even more incentive to get cursed with this weapon too. Which I think was mostly what I was talking about when I was doing the showcase. Well, the showcase for this, for the Spite Sword in particular, I remember, was really built around the very gimmicky, but also very effective build of holding out a shield, letting enemies hit you, and then rallying up the health. This is just this item alone, like, totally changes that entire build into being something much, much better. Currently, I am sitting at like 7 brutality. Well, not now. 7 brutality and 1 in all my other stats, and it's like I'm not even afraid at all. Not even worried. I know I'll be able to just like get that health back super easily. Get any amount of cooldown reduction. Talking late game again, Instinct would be very easy way to do that, and bam, you just have like an absolutely incredible thing that you can spam over and over constantly, because the criticals are always there. The health refill, it's like every single time you get hit. The only thing is that if you get chained together hits, if you keep getting hit over and over, Rally does get a little bit messed up because of that. This, of course, would also, much like Vampirism itself, be a very, very good item to use with the Relentless mutation. If you, or why can I remember the name of these things now? Affliction? No. Affix? No. Aspect. There we go. I just did an entire showcase on all of those. Hey, what happened to Superconductor? We don't talk about Superconductor. Anyway. You know. That tells us in the game about exploration, which most Metroidvanias are. Yeah, you say that, but people try to convince me otherwise all the time, let me tell you. Oh, how come you like this game if you aren't a huge fan of the Metroid-style games? And it's like, I think that should be obvious, but, you know. That whole thing. Finally caught you on stream? Yeah, and this, I'm hoping, is going to be a good run. I wanted to do a nice, easy one today, especially after the pure nail, I mean, purely due to user skill error alone. Yeah. It took a while to do. I think this one should be a lot breezier and nicer to get through. It's a deceptively good item, which I like. I mean, you know, you look at like a lot of games. It's hard to justify using items that, you know, have that sort of risk-reward of hurt yourself but get extra damage or defense or etc. and so on. And I do think that this definitely applies in the same way too. It's just, man, it is so much safer than using Vampirism. If you're ever looking at Vampirism and you're like, I don't know if I can really rely on myself to not get hit by things, this is the perfect alternative. Especially with the great synergies you can set up with it. I think you were too distracted by the thought of Sonic's juicy pink peach. Well, I said it. I'm not going to cut it out of the episode. Can you explain the items of this update? Oh, yeah. It's a lot of brutality and melee items, but each one, of course, is based around a different indie game. Using the Blasphemous one this time, based off of the Bile Flask from the healing item from that game. It works in basically the exact same way that the Estus Flask does. So, in that game. Here, it's a lot more interesting. The Pure Nail is just a pretty good brutality weapon that allows you to hit upwards and downwards, which I really liked, even though I still completely forgot to confirm again if the damage is on par and I was just making stuff up, or if it does like a little bit less damage than other brutality weapons. I know the Curse of the Dead God one is a somewhat slow melee weapon, but with a very powerful ending, like a 3-hit combo finisher. I'm gonna have to check that one out a little bit more as I continue doing these runs here. Yeah, I haven't seen the other two yet, because I keep putting off the Hyper Light Drifter one, because that was going to be the next run here. But yeah, will there be the Mea Culpa? No. There's so many swords already that were introduced in this update that I guess they want to do something a little bit different. Besides, I don't really know exactly what would the sword do differently than just like a regular sword in the game. I'm trying to think if it has like what sort of weird properties did it have in that game that could be used for a mechanic in this one. Of course, a very neat sword. Got like the thorns and everything around it, and of course, in addition to that, extremely important to the plot if you play the game. But yeah. Ready to get the current outfit? Use the Face Flask when you're at 1 HP. It's bad for your health, and that is because I guess you could conceivably kill yourself with it. I did not. So I don't know what happened exactly, but I somehow got away without dying there. Nail pretty much already has the same moveset. Yeah, it's very similar. With even including like the animation style, right? Oh my god. I'm getting rat comboed. That never happens. I don't know what happened there. Anyway. Melee's cleared. Wow, actually doing pretty good on melees and everything too. You'd hurt yourself for a buff just like when you do. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, the funny thing is they did really implement that with the Face Flask here, too. So, do you think that might have actually been what they were thinking of when they implemented this in the game? But they were just like, well, we don't want to just use another. Well, we don't want to just make the Spite Sword again. We don't want to just, you know, make another brutality weapon. Might actually be like the thought process there. Rat combo. Oh, those things attack faster than you might think. That's why I never parry them. Well, they also have virtually no health anyway, but you know. Now, I don't think people said last time that you don't die if you... Recovery feels like a pretty obvious mutation, even though I don't think it should be necessary for the most part. But, okay, people said that you don't die if you use the flask when you're cursed. I don't know if I want to try that out. What's the deal with your flask? That is in fact true. Okay. Should I try it right now? Because, well, anyway, the flask hurts you for a small amount, but then it also gives you brutality scaling percentage of your missing health into recovery. Not health, recovery. So you do need to attack enemies to get it back, like rally style. It's true? Okay. I had to check. I mean, because the thing is, I don't know. Like, I had to know, man. Now, here's the thing. I don't actually need it for the buff right now because being cursed also gives you the criticals. But still, it's just, you know, for restoring like a little bit of health, especially as I got constant criticals here, it's not a bad idea. After all, I need to kill a lot of enemies regardless. Look, when you're in this area, you got to kill a lot of enemies. That's just the case. And here, especially going up against the Toxic Miasma, should be a little bit easier. What with constant 2 times damage on top of everything else. Now I know. Flask is OP. I don't know if it's OP. You do have to make sure that you're not getting hit too much because, yeah, you're... Okay. because you do lose your rally if you get hit while you still have recovery to get back. However, if you are confident even slightly in your ability to dodge enemies, I think that, yeah, this is like an easy win item. However, on like lower cell difficulties, shouldn't be a problem because you still have access to like the potion and everything. Higher cell difficulties, though, this is where this is really gonna shine more than anything else. Also, hey, the Thunder Shield. Always do like me a Thunder Shield. Poison, burning, sponge, inflammable. I guess there's enough synergy there to work. All right. I hate the sewers. I know you don't need. I don't need to tell you that. Everybody knows this. Everybody feels the exact same way. Yep. Oh yeah, this is a lot more. Oh yeah, that's a lot more damage already. I'm already feeling it from the base level. Okay. I mean, overall, now that Malaise is not on hit in the game, Spite Sword has taken on a much nicer, much more usable type of style in the game. Still, once again, you do gotta make sure that you're not accidentally getting hit multiple times. However, for a super expert like myself, that is not a big deal at all. Nope, not even a little bit. What does Bile Flask do? Well, in the original Blasphemous, it is more or less an Estus Flask. On using it, you smash it against your face, and it heals you. In Dead Cells, deals a small amount of damage, turns a percentage based on your brutality of your missing health into recovery, which is rally. Not health by itself, but very easy to get back if you have the right build, like I'm using right now. The Vengeance plus Spite Sword combo is an extremely powerful one. Hurt yourself for a buff? I mean, it's not even like a buff. It's just health back. It's sort of like a weaker but less dangerous version of the weaker but less dangerous version of the Vampirism item. Which, of course, Vampirism turns all of your health, plus a pretty substantial amount of your missing health, into recovery. This one just deals a small amount of damage to you, which apparently doesn't break kill streak. Yeah. Doesn't break kill streak. Does not kill you if you're cursed. It's pretty good. Let's take disengagement just to be sure. As always. Almost exactly like Vampirism, yeah. It's like Vampirism, I always say, is like a triple S tier item, but only in late game, when you have the amount of damage to actually be able to, like, quickly get back your rally. Vampirism can't restore health that well, especially if you want if you want high HP, yes. That is pretty difficult to get. If you are like at 10% health and you pop Vampirism and you're able to get back to like 80% health because, you know, you have a good critical or like good synergies or something, and you're able to attack like a big group of enemies, it's like then it becomes super, super valuable because you only have the 4 plus food shops, flasks for like, what is it, 3 cell and above. It makes a big, big difference. It can really erase a lot of terrible sins that you might have committed over the course of a run. Or mistakes. I prefer calling them sins because it's more Blasphemous style, you understand. Does not fail perfect boss fights, yeah. It's like, I do think that like, overall, even the Spite Sword outside of using this item is still quite good now that you don't, now the Malaise has been changed up. However, oh, I know. I did not know that you could do the roll to drop items with your Homunculus rune. I've never needed to do that before. Huh. How about that? I guess probably good for something. Doesn't count against curses for kill streaks, but does proc Spite Sword and Vengeance. Yes. Hence why it is extremely good. And also gives you the potential to restore a lot of your health. Ah, gotcha. Good try, though. It's a great item. It's one of those items that might seem very underpowered at first. However, yeah, it's like, again, for something like a lower cell difficulty, maybe not as good. High cell difficulty, it's amazing. Oh my god. Oh, I don't think it's worth it. Like, I just... Ooh, do it? No. I feel like it might somehow get nerfed, perhaps. Who knows? Just like it is a sort of mechanic that exists in the game, dealing damage to yourself that I can imagine the Motion Twin might have wanted to put in for a little while. It's money. It is money, but do I need money? I'm doing fine. Curses are one-hit kills though, and I'm already dealing with sort of a, like, you know, hit-heavy run. Even though, God, that once again the damage on that critical is amazing, isn't it? Yep. 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 Okay. Pro gamer. Well, yeah, and a pro gamer knows when to hold him and knows when to fold him. Look, this is that sort of thing, like, when people talk about, oh, it's a survival of the fittest, only the strongest survive. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Being able to work with other people is a strength, is an evolutionary skill that people never really recognize. That also includes things like knowing when not to get into a fight, and not wildly attacking everybody that you can, or doing things like taking unnecessary risks for no reason. Anyway, what I'm saying is that Senator Armstrong is not the right man for Congress, and I will be taking over his seat, provided that you all vote for me in the fall. Sansa recorded this YouTube video piece. Did you see the pure nail? I was struggling so much with that one. I want an easy run. I want a nice simple run that's not absolutely terrible, where we can just sit here and talk about, like, I don't know, whatever. Where I can somehow... No, don't say stupid things just because you're trying to open yourself up for that conversation. It'll be sponsored by G Fuel and Baja Blast. I feel like the problem with the G Fuel is that the entire, like, stream of consciousness, sort of streams of consciousness that we went on, you know, might have included, yes, a lot of pro G Fuel type of rhetoric, but did also involve me using the phrase "I'm addicted to thick, long, hard megacocks," which I think the G Fuel Corporation might take objection to, and is probably why I am not sponsored right now in this stream. Pure Nail wasn't that good. I thought it was pretty good. I love the shenanigans you can do with it. So, like, the whole hopping and everything on enemies is really good. Firebird or a chicken? I mean, it's a spicy chicken, really. Besides, I've gone over this before. I have many different aspects. One is, of course, the Pontiac Firebird. That is the one I spend most of my time as. Another is a fat, bald man who plays video games for the internet. I also spend a lot of time as that. Bundle of snakes. The turtle emoji from Android, of course. Oh, come on. Ugh. A phoenix? Yeah, I guess, but I mean, you hardly ever see me as that one. And many more that have yet to either be made up by me or discovered yet. Okay. There we go. Much easier. I mean, the problem was with the Pure Nail run was that due to my own inability to play the video game correctly, I was just getting into a bunch of bad combos, which, like, instantly killed me over and over, or I died to curses. Mostly those two. Reset my YouTube account because I was addicted to it due to the constant flood of personalized content, so I've lost many of your videos. Don't even worry about it. They're still on channel, as always. Also, I totally know what you're talking about. Oh, man. Where it's just like, sometimes you just want to be like, I'm going to go delete all of my history related to Twitter so I get off of Twitter. It's not really, it does not help with productiveness. Anyway, Yeah, Hat in Time, Undermine, or something else after Blasphemous. I don't know. Anything y'all want to see? I feel like should just go start working on other stuff, but I don't know. I'm good. Just want to delete all the X videos history. I mean, it's actually really easy to do that, at least in Firefox. You just go into your history and search X videos. You just search it. just you know, just use the wildcard character and hentai, and then you can just go select all of it. You might have to do it in batches, depending on how good your processor is, because it'll take a while, depending on how many pages you've had open, and then just go delete them. Yeah. Then they don't appear in like recommendations on your address bar or anything. It's useful for finally getting over all of your ass worship Twitter accounts. See, this is why I'm not sponsored by G Fuel. It's because of you guys. It's not because of me. It's not because of the things I'm saying. It's because of you. Anyway. Hand Time only has 2 episodes on the channel. Actually, go check in the playlist, and you might be surprised. Very surprised. This is G Fuel Talk. I mean, given some of the people that I see who are sponsored by G Fuel, maybe. But, you know. Once again, I said you know like I had something else to say there, and I don't. What does a Bile Flask actually do? Small amount of damage to yourself and percentage based of your health of your missing health transformed into recovery. Boy, that is such a mouthful. But anyway, it's like percentage based on what your brutality stat is. Starts at 25, goes up from there. So now I have 42% of my missing health into recovery. Recovery is not health. Recovery is the rally mechanic. So you do need to hit enemies to get it back, but it's honestly not too hard with this build that I'm using right now. Have you asked G Fuel for sponsorship? I just thought they would come to me. Sexy Brutality only has 2 episodes though. Yeah, I gotta go get back to Sexy Brutality. I mean, right now we're working on most recently First off, it's really hard to get the second guy into the recording studio, into my palatial recording mansion. Do 0 damage per arrow. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Wow. The palatial recording mansion for Death's Gambit, but it's like Death's Gambit is done. I just need to get him in here to record. And then we got like Sexy Brutality on top of that, and I haven't even recorded those episodes. Like, I gotta get back to that already. I'm not taking it. What would your flavor be? Spicy. It would just taste like you put a bunch of capsaicin in water. And that's what I want. Spicy cheese would actually probably be pretty good too. Cheddar is so sharp it cuts yourself on the lid. That or you just open it up and it'd be nothing. And I'd be like, yep, that's me. Baja Blast would also be pretty good. I don't think that sort of sponsorship is the one that I would get anyway. Spicy Sakura would be interesting. I guess it would be kind of like a Rosewater thing. Baja Cheese Blast is vile. I don't like that. Now that's the damage. Unfortunately, melee against the Conjunctivius is not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, baby, I nailed it. Cheese and pineapples like pizza. It's true. That's me. I'm pizza. Hi. Hey, everybody. It's me, Dr. Inferno Pizza Bird. Maybe I should just go get like a chicken wing sponsorship or something instead. Come on, make this easy. There we go. A bile flavored. Now with extra mercury. Which was in the game, by the way. That's how you upgraded your flasks, by giving Quicksilver to a dude. It's horrible. Oh, is this the I'm stuffed meme, but I'm pizza? Yes. I don't know exactly what that meme is, but I assume it's real. Come on, get down here. Oh, no, it's not the get down here. It's the thing with the thing. And I lose my perfect fight. And I'm doing this weird accent. What's up with that? Oh. 100% have flavor of base Midwesterner. Well, yeah. I'm a Midwesterner. Like, it's not like this is something I try to hide from anybody. Try getting that KFC sponsorship. I want you to have an extra spicy version of the Double Down. Except I also want it combined with the Famous Bowl. I want it to be like a Famous Bowl that you are, I don't know how you would be forced to, but somehow forced to dunk the sandwich, the Double Down sandwich, into as a condiment. And it's also extra spicy. I pity Nacimiento so much. I pity Nacimiento so much that I hurried his quest just to end his suffering. I kind of felt the same way. But it's just also like, oh man, that's rough. Everybody has it rough in the Blasphemous universe. That's just the truth of the matter. Sorry I'm late, I'm doing stuff. And the other character says, I'm stuff. Haha, are you fucking my daughter? No, that's a meme related to, what? Wait, is that what the Hotel Transylvania meme was? Because I thought it was just, haha, Jonathan, are you fucking my daughter? Well then, I was only familiar with that part of it. Okay, I didn't. TikTok memes origins. Anyway, okay. I am not Canadian. I'm Midwestern, which is basically Canada Junior. Well, I mean, we're closer to what you would think of as like the platonic ideal of Canada than like, I don't know, Vancouver or something. Really now. Lessons in meme culture, very informative. I've never actually watched any of those channels before. Like, for whatever reason, the, that stylist stuff, not really my thing. Educates Boomer on year-old memes. I was familiar with part of the memery, just not the origins of it. Look, give me some credit here. Why would you give anybody credit for knowing memes? But, damn, why am I shutting myself down like this? It's because I'm realistic, and my modesty is my best quality. Anyway. Continuing on. I'm a little bit too overly flask happy there. Anyway. What is your favorite spy movie? I don't know. I can't even name like a lot of spy movies I've seen. It's Ballistic X vs. Sever. That was an action movie. That was not a spy movie. We went through the plot of it in the super Tainted Keeper episode of Binding of Isaac. If you want to go listen to the Blix X vs. Sever cast. It was not about, they were not spies. They were something else, right? Look, it's a little bit Mission Impossible Fallout. Never saw it. I got no idea. Doesn't really give me too much here, does it now? Generates toxic cloud. I don't know. Maybe that can be something. I don't know. Which character do you think had it worse than Blasphemous? The sisters that were in the hair egg. That's always the one that I think of when I'm just like, ugh. Ugh. That is a rough one. Okay. Generates toxic cloud sounds like your mom. Thank you. Oh boy. Well, I suppose I should go and try and not die with that. Mr. Gassius? Yeah, I gotta admit I don't remember a whole lot of the names very well. So the Veldstock guy did explode eventually, which was pretty ridiculous. Is that tragic or just silly? On this episode of Blasphemous. Oh boy. All right then. 19, 30, and actually 20 right here. 30 kills right now. I think I can probably see how quick it takes me to get over to that cursed chest, I suppose. I am very worried about taking that, though, as usual. Yeah, I guess I gotta kind of like circle around there. What does the Bile Flask do? It does damage to yourself, and it restores a percentage based on your brutality of your missing health into recovery. 46% as of right now, with 20 points in brutality. Now, recovery is not health. Recovery does require you to actually hit enemies in the same way that you do with any sort of rally or vampirism or anything like that. However, it is still much safer to use than... Yeah, okay, let's go, baby. And by let's go, I mean... Ah! I do like hide and scout, so I'm gonna throw that in the backpack just for the sake of having it along as like a companion. Oh, it does not kill you through curses. Does not break your kill streak. Is just good. Allows usage of the allows usage of the critical from the Spite Sword, the Vengeance mutation, which I'm using right now. Procs that, while also doing a very minimal amount of damage to yourself, which you can rally up almost instantly, especially with a build like this. It breaks Owl? Oh, well. Owl is unfortunately no longer brutality scaling, so it's not going to come up super often, but still might. Bile Flask allows Uwu? It... What? Yeah, sure. Should periodically ask him what the flask does until he nails the explanation. It's like you want me to do a live version of the start of every one of these episodes. Why? Oh, I tripped over a word. It's so hard to say. Based on brutality, it does a percentage of your missing health transformed into recovery. I obviously got everything past that point, though. But still. New skill with the... fell right into that because I was reading chat. Even the multiple jumps didn't do it for me. Oh, that's interesting. Not worth it, though. What's the other potion? That is the Bile Flask. It does a small amount of damage to your character, but also transforms a brutality-based percentage of your missing health into recovery. Recovery is not health. Recovery is the rally mechanic that exists in the game, which would require you to hit enemies to be able to restore that health. But using mutations like Vengeance mutation and the Spite Sword, it is procced without ruining your kill count, and it's too hard. It's too many words. Next time, yeah. It's so... The explanation is so lengthy. Please excuse me. It's hard. Like those stick long hard megacocks. And that's the episode. It's not the episode. We're still going. Man, I am like doing really good in this run, by the way. There's not really too much else to be said about that. It's just, man, this run's really good. Like, do you want to just like start spitting hot bars every single time, get it done in like 2 seconds? I can't do that. There's only explanation on the rest of the episode. I mean, that's how I do a lot of series on the channel, really. It's not the most unusual thing. Prep up explanations all the time. You also have stats. I do have good stats. Got two challenge rifts in this run, which I think really contributed to that. Call it less risky vampirism, but it also activates the critical on Spite Sword and the Vengeance mutation, making it much easier to rally back up the health that you lose from that and that you gain from the potion using it. Oh, look, everybody's at least going to know what this flask does by the end of this episode. if you know, they're not convinced that they want to use it already. Because have you seen this thing? I wanted an easy run, and here we are, baby. Fast and effective. Come on now. Tainted Flask boosts the damage. Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't activate potion charge related things like it would for extended healing. Only damage taking things or whatever sort of affix you happen to have on it. There we are. Still has that sound of you getting hit every single time I activate that, which makes me think that I am in more danger than I actually am. So like how, you know, in Sonic 06 where Tails has the fake ring bomb that still makes the sound like you got hit by an enemy. I'm going to be playing Sonic 06 on the channel, so just imagine that is a reference to a future series. The Simpsons scene where Ralph picks up an egg over and over. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to describe this weapon. No, it's not. He's picking up the Easter egg after it falls out of the hole in his basket. Because, yeah, of course I know the exact reference you're making. Why wouldn't I? Oh, boy. Teleport rune thingy to send you outside the room and enter the room 3 times. Yep, I've done that before. Well, okay, not 3 times, but I've done that before, too. It's really nice that it just, yeah, it teleports you outside the room, because why wouldn't it? Generally, when you use those things, you don't need to do anything else in the area, so it only makes sense. Still, though. Okay, every explanation in Dead Cells is big. No, there's a lot of simple ones. Like, nobody's gonna be like, wait, I don't understand. How does the blood sword work? Well, it's a sword covered in blood. Wait, no. Alright, give me that health back. Good damage. How does the balance blade work? Well, it has, on getting 10 consecutive hits on an enemy, it causes every subsequent hit to become a critical. For a pretty bad amount of damage, to be honest, unfortunately. Better, but still kind of bad. Balance blade is also just the answer to everybody wanting the rusty sword as a real weapon, because such a thing didn't really exist in the original version. I'm just giving you the exact explanation that I did all the way back in the showcase. Nice. Oh, does this count as a warm-up? No, actually not. We didn't have a burner run, really. Uh-oh. That does not bode well for the future. Whatever. I'm really good at video games. Doesn't matter. What's going on here? Good. No? Okay. All right, then. What else am I doing here now? I guess I could probably get another good sword. Yep, that's a lot of extra damage. Still got the poison and burning, too. All right. If I can find something to do burning, maybe I'll go take that at this point. Cavern's jank generation, that's usually the Astrolab. It's always the Astrolab. They're synonymous with each other. Well, anyway. Look, the run's going just fine, though. I haven't even gotten, like, close to having to use a potion charge. I mean, the only time was, like, way earlier in the run when I was doing that one challenge rift. And even then, I don't know, man, I don't think that was entirely necessary. All right, get up here. I like that I got the electrocutes enemies on using the flask charge, considering that it's so free to use. Also, more spike shields, why not? It's so free to use that it's like basically I can just be constantly surrounded by electricity. I can be Mr. Electric. It was also George Lopez, star of the Lopez Show. Anyway. Speaking of old memes, I want to see more of Mr. Electric. I love that guy. I love that creepy, incredibly creepy Robert Rodriguez movies, stylings. It entertains me on a level that few other things do. Hey, we all remember the crappy PS1 CGI thumb men from Spy Kids, right? Hey, who out there saw Spy Kids? And if you did, you definitely remember the crappy CGI PS1 thumb men. Or like a lot of the other stuff that happened in that movie. It wasn't even really just the thumb people. Going to get Korean fried chicken. Be back shortly. Oh, do you want to pause the episode until you're back? No, you can watch. You can just do a podcast style. Just don't make sure you're not looking at the run when you're on the road. We can talk more about Robert Rodriguez movies. Come on. I know you all want to. I know as soon as I said that, you're all just like, oh man, I want to talk about Robert Rodriguez movies, but I also don't want to admit that I've never seen Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, some really deep scrapes of memory. Good. I was so afraid of Spy Kids as a kid. You should be. That movie was scary. I don't even watch it as a kid. I was like, I don't know, an adult with a wife and children of my own at the time. That's not true, but probably at least a little bit older than most people that saw that when I watched it on TV. And it's just like, it was still freaked me out. And it wasn't just because I was drunk. Maybe a little bit, though. You're making me feel old. Oh, come on now. The Electric Boy? Yeah, his name is Mr. Electric. How can you forget about Mr. Electric? It's George Lopez. It's George Lopez on this weird MODOK screen. Now that's a reference. Actually, people might know MODOK these days. There've been like Marvel like television shows that have exposed you to the great machine only designed for killing. Because it was on TV. That's why I watched it. You can also go talk about Cube 2 Hypercube, or the movie How High if we want to talk about other dumb things that I watched when I was falling asleep in college. Because my roommate fell asleep on the remote. That's how I watched the entirety of How High. And it was one of those new flat screen TVs, so I didn't know how to shut it off. Yep. Every day we get closer to figuring out my age. Anyway. What a dumb story. Well, it was a dumb movie. You know, that movie ended with the ghost of Benjamin Franklin using an antique cannon as a bong. Yeah. Anyway. Any other questions about How High? I'm here to answer them. This movie that I saw 35 years ago, or however long it's been. No. Doc, I have a great idea for you to consider. Stealing the Celtic Barbarian for the Specky? Oh, boy. I've never played anything on Specky before. That'll be interesting. Now, I mean, as of right now, I still got the whole like list going on here, so game suggestions and force me to play type of things are still gonna be a while till I return to them. Used to have a whole lot of Amiga ports for DOS back, and can't keep revealing how old I am. But yeah, that was a thing. Playing like bopping. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Oh boy. Had a DOS computer growing up. What do you want from me? And then we moved on to Windows 95 with the biggest hard drive I've ever seen. 7 gigabytes. Anyway. There we go. And nothing. Although I do kind of want to fire here if I can. Or maybe just... Sure. Why not? What else? What else? Why do I need to know about that game in particular? It seems like you have something that you want me to see in it. Extremely fond memories of Shuffle Pack Cafe and Battle Chess on the old black and white Macintosh. Oh boy, you want to talk about the old Macintosh? My my elementary school had like Apple II computers with a whole bunch of games loaded on there. Of course, everybody was playing... Actually, I don't think they were Apple IIs. I think they were a little bit newer than that. Of course, everybody was playing Oregon Trail at the time. But I was also super into Math Munchers. That game was a lot of fun. And of course, I kicked everybody's ass on it. Because, like, come on. Try and match me. With your skill, with your knowledge of fractions. You won't. You'll lose. I'll win. But yeah, and I'm playing Dead Cells for the first time in months, having a lot of fun with it again. Yeah, these new items are all pretty worth coming back for, I'd say. A lot of interesting, weird ones here. Not just your usual, like, kind of like a slow, powerful weapon type of fare. Although even like some of the more recent ones that have been added in, I've liked a lot. Looking at the Tombstone, for example. Has a really unique 80s charm. Oh boy. I mean, not that I've never played a game with very unique of its time charm. Omicron, for example. Flashback, for example, which was very 90s. Like, oh my god. Good stuff, though. I mean, hell, it's like even NetHack is a very, like, stupidly 80s type of style to it. Come on, keep going, man. More damage. I cannot believe how close I am to getting the... Yeah, the next phase right there. Alright, alright. Okay. Come on. There we go. Now, is that a perfect fight? I think so. Because I still have the four deals. I'll take that. Omicron is not 1999 charm. I don't know. I feel like they definitely, like, there's a very clear sort of Blade Runner stuff, Blade Runner Matrix bullshit thing that they tried to do. Oh, man. What do we got? Let's sell that, I suppose. Well, like, hey, perfect fight. Take that, then. But it's just like you see in this item. Hey, you peep in this item. It's really good. I took disengagement here. I'm not even using it. Which means I think we're doing well enough to do the distillery. Oh, come on. This run has been going so easy. Why not? I think that if I'm gonna choose anything, it's gonna be here. It's not F. Come on, bruh. Now then, try that again. All right, into the distillery. But yeah, there's where I learned about my old. What are we talking about? Old computers again? Right. I don't know if I have any particularly old games currently on the list to be doing. I think it's mostly stuff that's been coming out largely recently. Recently-ish right now. Yeah, there's no like equivalent to me doing Flashback a few months back or anything. At least not quite. Truly Blasphemous, the distillery. I think of it like this. More opportunity to try and get through this area. Learn some of the new places in this area. Oh. Go on. Bruh. Well, anyway, the easier way to do this is just like this. I want to try and do it the cool guy way, but doubters are pogging, and they should be. Close stat right now. I'd like to kind of close all these doors, but I think it's kind of better to just go right now. All right, and shelve this in here. Sorry, Hayabusa Gauntlet. You know, I can't use you right now. A little bit busy. Do the cool guy voice. Cool guy! Cool guy! Anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed. And there we are. Wait, that wasn't the cool... What do you mean that wasn't the cool guy voice? That was super... Go watch the cool guy video. That was a cool guy voice. Or at least the best approximation that I can get for it. Okay. Oh my god. And immediately turning into an elite as well. In this classic hallway. Is there an uncool guy voice? Yeah. This. Hi. How's it going? Run seems okay so far, I would say. Oof, though. That's good. Still a little bit of an issue at some points, but mostly good, I would say. There we go. Okay. Oh, wait. First off, before I start looking around here I really think this is probably the best item that I'm going to get for right now. Maybe even Corrupted Power for more damage, but I don't think that's necessary. Hey, thank you, Mokai Satome. I love you. Welcome to, probably the easiest of the runs coming up here. This is just a good item. Don't ask me to explain to you what it does. Or do, whatever. We can do that again. All right. Keep on going, hope for the best. Because I'm still just like planning, there's going to be something that kills me just outright here. Hoping for the best. But, like one singular explodo from the explosion from this guy could be real. Maybe not run ending, but getting close. Oh, explain what's the deal with the demon NPC, guys? I don't know. It doesn't really... I don't know why there's just demons around here. I mean, we can just chalk it up to more like a... More, failed experiments to try and cure the malaise that, are alchemical monstrosities, but they are called, like, demons. That's kind of the basic explanation for every other one of the zombies around here, but... Ugh. That's... Ooh. Ow. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a little bit rough, as it always is in this area. It's sad. This should be better for recovering a little bit of health. What Doc learns how to play Super Auto Pets? No! Isn't that a multiplayer game? You know I don't play multiplayer games. I can't. Was this supposed to be the classic Minecraft hurt sound? No, that was me going oof. I mean, I did voice Steve back in the day, but, you know, that's why you're all here, right? Because you know about my voice acting history. There's this cursed room full of traps in the distillery. You mean every room? Unless you mean, like, literally cursed. Ugh. Didn't even get the rally there. But yeah, Super Auto Pets is a multiplayer game, right? It's like I cannot play that. Like, what if I got stream sniped? I don't want to do that. Good God. I'm sure that there are probably some real killers in Super Auto Pets in this chat, right? And I can't imagine that not being the case. 2 times damage, not really that useful. No, I think that just sticking with this basic build is what I should be doing. Ha. Fun, but not really necessary or something I even need to use, really. You don't interact with people in SAP. It's more like DS notes, but it's enemy teams instead of notes. No interaction. So in other words, you're telling me that it's just like when somebody creates a team that spells out the word Cox, and I'm going to have to try and like kill the stream before anybody sees that, so that nobody can have so that no children can be harmed. And you're going to be like, it doesn't count. It's not actually multiplayer. Yeah? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what I'm hearing. Totally rational, completely founded fears by an entirely sane person. Oh my God. Told you that the enemy's doing a lot of health here. No way to spell things. No, all they need to do is just go get a snake, an ape, and a penguin. No, wait a second. That's not how you spell Cox. That's how you spell the other word. That's how you spell sap, which is the game. A chicken, a ostrich, another chicken, and a kangaroo. There you go. I know animals. I passed elementary school. Anyway, no way. I guess they could just also have like an entire team of chickens. I didn't know about this big crossover update till recently. How does the Bile Flask do, given it doesn't do what it does in the source material? It deals a small amount of damage to your character, proccing things like Vengeance and the Spite Sword, and also restores a percentage based on your amount of brutality of your health in recovery. Recovery is not health. The recovery is a lot like vampirism or, well, any sort of rally as soon as you get hit. All you need to do is hit enemies to be able to get that health back, but it is, compared to vampirism, a lot safer to actually use, just less effective. Now, using the Spite Sword and the Vengeance mutation, I have gotten a really easy run going. Because it doesn't even break like perfect boss fights, kill streaks, or even kill you when you're cursed when you're using this. It's a really good item. It somehow makes big crits. It makes big crits because this is an item that synergizes with getting hurt, and there's no other consistent or good way to get hurt in the entire game. No, all you got is like goading enemies into attacking you when you're holding out a shield. Maybe jumping in spikes with masochism. And then, like, of course, there's All right, then. And then there's, of course, the classic way of just taking out the... Classic way of taking out... God, why can't I remember the name of it? Because I'm focused on the fight. Give me 1 second. Classic way of taking out the lightning bolt, but that's just a stupid way to get hurt. Get hit accidentally. Yeah, whatever. It's not really... some pauses but coherent. I mean, to be fair, you do understand that it's like I am still playing the video game. This is not pre-recorded footage like last episode. It's a good item. Highly recommend. Makes higher cell difficulties much easier to the point that it might be a little bit overpowered. Just throwing that one out there. There might be a little bit of a rework done in the future for this item, but for right now, I'm going to take an easy win. Yeah. Like, come on, I haven't even used a singular potion charge this entire run at all. Or, like, needed to... It's like using vampirism, basically. Yeah, it's just a safer version of vampirism. And especially in late game, where you get the very big damage, you can just really instantly rally up the amount of health that you lose, or that you have lost from other hits. Okay, now come on. This isn't pre-recorded? How are you not going to splay in every room? Splay? Splay. Splay? Splay. Explain to me what splay is. Definitely getting changed. It's pretty much a better version. It's not better. Vampirism still does a lot more. Vampirism still does a lot more health regen. It's just this also synergizes really well with the mutation and the side effect. Getting hurt for benefit is not really a big mechanic in Dead Cells, but now it is. It is now. It's like there's no reason to not, if you're trying to use a spite sword, it's just like there's no, and you're not going for like perfect kills or anything, there's no reason not to try and use this item. It's a very good. Splat. Splat? I still don't understand. Well, anyway. Ugh. Vampirism only gets you to 60, 70. I don't know. You haven't had the same vampirism health runs that I have. You can also make sure that you have the mutation recovery for that too, which helps a lot. It's like ain't too bad. With Meat Hook and Endgame, I could instantly heal all the recovery guaranteed. Yeah, Meat Hook, any sort of like high critical or just hitting up groups of enemies, you can get like 90% health, and that's even without. And I would say that's even without taking the like the recovery mutation. You just gotta really get in there. Well, that should be no surprise. It's like we are talking about a game like Dead Cells, where, once again, really getting in there is kind of the most effective way you can do a lot of things. Bruh. Vampirism also has higher cooldown. I think that is true. Vampirism also does more health regen, though. Bruh. There. Anyway. Sounds super dope. More unique items let you build around them in terms of mutations and combos. Yeah, I mean, it's still like, you know, building around very specific type of a very specific type of item, but Spite Sword and, you know, the mutations are obvious to be taken here. But it's like the damage output is very good. Like, Spite Sword gets really good damage from its critical. It's quite powerful. It's like 2 times. You can just like turn it on basically, because you do rally up the health that you lose as well, pretty easily, unless you're at like very high health. Yep, and there you go. If you're at very high health, then, you know, of course, you just take damage, but who cares? It doesn't break kill streaks or anything. There we go. Oh, you don't drink, you just... The main character does not have a face. We talked about this very early on in the episode. What's up with that? Ain't got no face to be able to splat on there. It's kind of like an entire part of the whole character design for since the game started. Anyway. Okay. Whatever. Let's keep going here. Smear it all over your face. Well, smear it all over your metal mask, pinhead, hat. in the original game, of course. Bam, bam. There we go. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. Oh. Now then, where am I going? I guess to the right. The kind of the only area that I can go. See how this do. The whole deal of getting damage for benefits, I feel like that's a really hard ask though. Like in a lot of games, damage for, doing like damage for big gains is hard. Of course, this also, the damage has the potential of getting regened, so makes it a lot more palatable, but I would imagine that like other items that would damage you for like big other damage stuff, I don't know. Sort of would be difficult to use, especially because healing is at such a premium later in the game and everything. On the higher cell difficulties, on lower cell difficulties, not really. And obviously this item does not really matter as much for like low cell difficulties, but hey, still probably use it. Penitent 1 also filled the helmet with blood and put on the helmet like an absolute Chad. Well, that was part of like ritual type of stuff, right? Getting into the area, whatever the place was called in the first place that was in there. Dudes in Blasphemous kiss wounds to heal them. That's fucking metal. I mean, that's normal. Kissing wounds. Come on, do it all the time. Take that out. Take that out, and take that out. There we go. Yeah, tried to get the parry there. Didn't quite work. Whatever, here's the thing. I can play this real loose in this run, of course. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And one more. Oh boy. Did that right after the first boss with no reason or explanation. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, ritualistic stuff doesn't really have too much of a reason, does it? Unless you know what it is. Like, look at like the Freemasons, for example. Okay. Just need to cool off a bit. Yeah, and what better way than to bathe in the blood of your enemies? It's cool. Getting in the mood. And there's that, there's that. I feel like this is going to be a pretty easy fight. Oh, let's go. Yeah, this is not one of those drinking flasks. This is a bile flask. You wouldn't want to drink that anyway. Oh, it's gross. Blasphemous Lord is weird. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It do be very something. When I was doing the series, I remember looking up a whole bunch of like, weird stuff, trying to figure out like what was going on in the plot and everything, and I couldn't do it. Couldn't figure it out easy enough. Okay. Let's keep going, baby. Came 10 minutes ago. What is the showcase for and what does it do? Oh, I can't do it right now. We're fighting the final boss of the game. Here, watch this. Kind of. And developers were just looking at like Hieronymus Bosch paintings, basically, when they were making the game. Garden of Earthly Delight type of stuff. Okay. Okay, and okay. Not really ideal, but... got me anyway, then. Oh, what's the showcase for? Is for the Bile Flask. Deal small amount of damage to yourself. Turn a percentage of your health based on how much brutality you have into recovery. Recovery is not health. Recovery requires that you hit enemies to get it back. However, utilizing on-hit benefiting things like the Vengeance Mutation as well as the Spite Sword, you are able to, without breaking your kill streak, activate like the Spite Sword critical or the Vengeance stuff, and it's extremely powerful and makes so that you never really have to use a potion charge the entire run. It's very good. There we go. Oh. You won, yay. I did it, everybody. There we go. Good run. The greatest miracle. Is this a win? Oh, shut up. I just got a win in the last episode, too. Yeah, it was post-commentary, but still, a win is a win. I tell you. Well, there we go. Yeah, Flask is good. Everybody use the Flask. It's great. Okay. Good stuff. I knew that was going to be a relatively easy win because it's just like, man, the build you can make with that is just too damn good. Hey, thank you, Osirmos. Osirmos? Osimos? Osimouse? I love you. Hey, Raydon, you finally got a sub back, by the way. Oh, boy. Also, King of the Ruined Kingdom is funny because that dude in the last stream gifted 5 subs, but apparently didn't get one for himself, which is kind of ridiculous. Go buy Grime. I was really thinking about playing Grime at some point in time. Maybe I'll play that and maybe do a series. I don't know. I should, though. It's definitely a pretty good thing. How do you get the flask? It's in the same way that you get everything else in this update. It's in the lore room in the first area. Actually got it in the Pure Nail run. Oh, Grime is a good game. I heard it was kind of janky, but it was still getting updates. Last I checked to improve some of the issues with it. I mean, besides, like I'm playing Death's Gambit right now. It's like I can deal with some janky games, especially if they get updates to make them better, which is exactly what happened with that. I mean, that game when it was first released, pretty janky. That game now, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so it's a lot smoother now. Yeah. Another in the long line of guys with weird head platformer games. Look forward to my full playthrough of Dynamite Heady, followed by Decap Attack. But anyway, okay. I guess I didn't really have anything else I wanted to do here today, so just end the stream, I suppose. Yeah, I talked about Blasphemous getting the free updates soon enough, like free DLC for free. Any more news on that, by the way? For a sequel, no, nothing new. But anyway, yep. End the stream for right now. Go, I don't know, something else.